Hi, Esperanza. Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. All right. Oh, hold on. I got feedback. Okay. We're good now. Okay. So let's go ahead and set our intention for this week. Hi, Mark. And I don't know. Hi. I see how much fun you're having. I'm super excited for you. I hope you're having a really, really good time. All right, let's go ahead and set our intention for this week. I've got my cards. And I thought I was sitting with one of my friends recently. I gifted her a deck of one of my deck, or a deck of my cards, my card deck. And I was talking with her about the intention behind every single image. And I think I'm going to share that on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, follow me there. But every single one of my cards, there is like an intention behind every single photo. And representation was really, really important for me. And also, here's a little side note. So we are influenced by the dominant culture. And because we're influenced by the dominant culture, we have an assumption that all of our spiritual beings are white. And that isn't what I see. It isn't what I see. And historically in my career, I have worked a lot on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And when I connect to spirit, I see people who look like me and who look like my husband. And so that's why in my deck, you'll see that Archangel Michael is Black. And I know that goes against what a lot of people believe, but they're not informed. And so we see through the lens of our experiences. And so I'm going to share the story of how each card, really, I sat with that, I connected with spirit, and I just let that be the guide for how I created this deck. All right, so choose a card, 1, 2, or 3, or all of them, whatever resonates with you. And shuffling. And if you're new to me, the way that I do this with my deck is I fan them out and I listen for the word stop. And there it is. Card number 1. Card number 2. Card number 3. Okay. All right. So card number 1, here we go. Gratitude. I am thankful for this moment. Let me tell you about gratitude. So, we're a vibration. We're vibrating, and within that vibration is a frequency. Gratitude is one of the highest frequencies. And anytime that I'm feeling a little off kilter, first of all, I give myself permission to feel what I feel. So I let myself drop into that experience and simply be with it. Simply be with whatever it is I'm experiencing. I don't have to explain it. I don't have to understand it. I don't have to connect the dots and figure out what, why, how, and when. Just the act of simply being with it allows for this experience to move through me. Now, that's not to say that we never figure out where it's coming from or that we don't unpack it some way. But when we're having an experience, we need to learn to stop kind of going right to our intellectual being where the ego resides to try to connect the dots, because what we're actually doing is we're distracting ourselves from simply having the experience. Okay. And so once I allow myself to be in that, then I shift into the space of gratitude. Like, I get to have this experience. I get to have this moment. Even if the moment feels shitty, I get to experience it. And so I shift into that state of gratitude. And one of the, I think, most magical experiences that I did early on in my sacred journey and this healing journey was to have a gratitude journal. And every single day I wrote in that gratitude journal at the end of the day, 3 to 5 things every day. And I will tell you, those times were really hard for me They were dark times because I was really unpacking the impact of trauma that I experienced as a child, my entire childhood, like until I left home at 18. So I was unpacking all of that. And some days my gratitude was thank you that I get to breathe today. I'm able to keep my electricity on. Like that kind of just finding whatever I like, looking for that gratitude in my life. And it's become so much easier because as you align with that frequency, you'll start to see more things show up for you that are magical and that are amazing. So gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. The next one, number 2, if you chose number 2, surrender. Surrender. And the affirmation for this is, I know I am divinely supported. You are more than this experience that you are having right now. It is okay for you to allow yourself that divine guidance. But in order to do that, in order to feel that and align with that, you have to just surrender. Say, I'm willing. I am willing. I am open. I am willing. And I don't have to be in charge. And for a lot of us, again, who come from trauma, we sometimes will swallow we just feel like we have to do everything on our own by ourselves. And you don't have to. You don't have to. You probably have people who surround you who are willing to help, and also surrender to all that is. And know that you are divinely guided, but you have to get quiet and you have to allow yourself to simply be. And so often we talk about inaction, to get things in, like keep going and going and going because we are inspired to act. Sometimes we just need to sit back and just simply be, because that's where we get our greatest inspiration, is when we quiet down the small self in order for our highest self, our deepest I, all that is, our essential being, comes through. Okay? Surrender. The number 3 is Archangel Chamuel. Archangel Chamuel is the angel of love. And I feel like I have, hold on, let me see what that message is. That message, if you chose number 3, one of the greatest challenges that many of us have isn't the act of loving, it's the act of receiving love. We don't know how to let ourselves be vulnerable and receive love. Allow love to enter into your heart space. And there's a sense of vulnerability that comes with that. There's a sense of vulnerability. And you know what? People are so afraid of, but what if I get hurt? What if? Yeah, and let yourself feel the experience of someone caring for you, someone loving you. Allow that into your heart space. And then go back to that gratitude piece, right? Like, thank you for this moment. Thank you for this moment where I get to experience love. Because a lot of us are really good at giving. A lot of us are really good at giving. But love is the nature of who we are. And in order for us to really experience it at the deepest level, not as a transaction, but at the deepest level, is simply be the expression of love. And that's fluid. That's fluid. That isn't a give and take. It is a fluid experience. So you've got to be vulnerable in order to experience that. Okay? Yay! So 1, 2, and 3. I'll think about it. Mark, it's time. It's time for you to open your heart and just let that experience happen for you. Okay? Hi, Maggie. You're very welcome. Hi, Pam. I'm so glad you all are here with me. I hope you have, I am grateful for those that leave me, and I will surrender to love. Yeah, that reminds me, Mark, of, I just had this experience I recently had this conversation about chapters in our lives. You and I have talked about this. Like every opportunity, whether the relationship was positive, negative, or neutral, it all provides an opportunity for our deeper awareness. The key is if we're willing to step back and observe, right? To simply be with that experience. We don't have to judge it. We want to experience it, of course, but we don't have to judge it. Like, there I went again, and I went and trusted this person, and look what happened. Like, we bring back the old story, and we don't need to bring back the old story. Go, oh, well, that was an opportunity for me to learn. And these are the things that I got to do. These are the things I got to learn. And I think the more we practice this state of neutrality, the easier it becomes for us to move in and out of these, those waves in our experience of life. So, yeah, my 2 cents. Love you, not leave you. That's funny. To love you, and I will surrender to love. Yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one. Especially for those of us who've kind of pushed through, right? We pushed through all the dark times, and we're like, I've only got me. How many of us heard that? You only got yourself. You're the only one that you can rely on. You're all you've got. So don't depend on anybody else. Man, that was a big story of mine. And I really had to learn how to just let myself become open-hearted and be vulnerable. And in the beginning, that was really scary. It was really scary because of the story I was telling myself. But that's all it was the story I was telling myself. That's it. Let yourself be loved in a new country. I would love to hear about how that goes. All right, you all have a fabulous, fabulous week. And just to let you know, in a couple weeks, I am starting a journaling challenge. And I'm moving everything onto a new platform. So that's taking me a little bit of time. So follow me on one of my social media pages. And if you are on TikTok, join me over there because I'm going to start posting a little bit more about my cards and my experience. Thank you all. Have a fabulous, fabulous week. Sending you lots of love.